welcome to your favorite social media program. My name is Rose Blossom. You can watch us on the app. You can download Galaxy Television app from Google Play Store, Apple Play Store to watch this program live. And of course, yes, I'm not doing this alone. I have a special appearance, I guess, and I have my co-host. But I'm going to let my co-host introduce herself first. Hi, Patricia.
You just called my name. There's not much to say. My name is Patricia Uruli Gabriel. Thank you for joining us on Thank God It's Friday edition.
Of what? Thank God It's Friday edition of what?
Of what?
Of the balls.
I'm telling you to say thank God because you're supposed to say it. So I was wondering why you didn't say thank God. It's
maybe it's not feeling like Friday for me because I have lots lined up for the weekend.
Oh wow, it's feeling like Friday for me.
Okay.
So I remembered.
Amazing.
Thank God It's Friday edition on the bones.
Yes. And of course, I'm going to start by introducing my special appearance as usual that always comes on board on Friday. We have Odun Ayo. Janet. I call her Jane by design or Jane. How you doing? You love it.
Good afternoon, Madam Pat. And our viewers out there, good afternoon to you. And thank you for joining us on the show today.
Isn't she looking?
I love it. I was doing the whole on the TV. She looks so good. I'm making my hair. I'm no more wearing wigs. According to Gabriel Gabriela, she might be listening to this.
I see.
Anyways, we have a guest in the house. We have Success. Success, how you doing?
I'm good.
It's good to have you.
Yes, good to have everybody.
Yes, Success was on production, but he had to just be here for us. You see why people love us so much. It's interesting.
But I want to go by his name this Friday. Success.
Oh.
Everything will be successful for me.
Yes. For only you. For me.
For me.
For us.
Okay, for us.
Yeah.
Because I love you. For us. Thank you for sharing the name with us.
Well, it's amazing to be here again. And of course, we'll first go through what has happened. Some stories has happened over the week. We just go through them, the spectacular ones. And we'll not really necessarily discuss them, just to go over them, then go into the real proper topics we have that is buzzing on social media. So,
we're going to be talking on Vicky James, or rather, let's just chit chat on Vicky James' birthday, 80th birthday. And so there's a medical doctor that came out saying that performance at Vicky James' party, not Christ-like. And Vicky James' 30th birthday cake cost just 18 million naira. Listen, 18 million naira. Hey, what's in the cake, Biko? 18 million naira. Blossom.
Please, show us the cake while we are talking about
Someone said something about building a 2-bedroom apartment. And he said, the cost of building a 2-bedroom bungalow apartment is 8 million naira. So with this cake,
really?
I can build 2 and
really?
have extra boys quarter. Boys quarter for you if you want to visit me.
Can you imagine? So it's me you want to put in the boys quarter. No, I'm taking over the other room close to the master's bedroom.
My God, 18 million.
That's a whole lot. Okay, so there are some reactions to that video, to the roll-up. I'm sure they'll be showing the cake pretty soon, which cost 80 million. There are some doctors, a doctor came out actually, also said that she dancing on the pole, the pole dance is not healthy because she could, feel dizzy or drowsy, and at the same time, if it's affecting her, then also talking about the cake, the cake also, they said it's too much, being that, quote unquote, she said she's a Christian, and of course people expect that spending that much money on just a cake, she could have, do something milder and be able to contribute or give to the less privileged as Christians that we are. But from my own end, I'm thinking like, yes, Jesus probably had no sandals or one sandals or whatever. Didn't have any means of transportation. And if you look at it, it was kind of poor, but it was rich in every other part. Now people believe that Christians should also be like that when we're meant to be rich. So, but the money is supposed to be for the betterment of other Christians. I don't know. What do you think about that, Success? Because that's a whole lot. I buy his idea, but not entirely saying that we should not, be wealthy.
Okay, so first of all, wealthy people have this craziness. You see, both of us could be a vendor. We could be cake designers. I could be delivering the same service at 1 million naira. and you be delivering something similar at 10 million. And I would say it is you who is baking my cake, because I want to belong to the class. I want to sound braggadocious. So it is not because they don't have the option of getting cheaper vendors or getting. It's just that they want. You see the way you're talking about the cake, 18 million naira cake. They want it to ring a bell. So it's about the ringing of bell. Do you understand what I'm saying? Which sometimes it's condemnable sometimes, and sometimes you cannot stop the elites from doing luxurious stuff. Just like boarding an aircraft, going to first class, going to economy. It's still the same thing about class. It's always about class. It's not like you won't get to your destination. So there's always this peculiarity about these wealthy people. They always want to show class. So maybe that's what she's trying to do. Then for the dancing on the pole, well, I cannot say dancing on the pole is a sin, because there's no way in the Bible where the Bible said dancing on the pole is a sin. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yeah. However, there are certain things that you do that will make people begin to regard you in a certain way. Are you getting what I'm saying? And usually in the Christendom, it is expected that anything you do should be Christ-like. So when you go to want to dance on a pole, it looks like you probably were a stripper sometime ago in your life, or maybe you're addicted to, because the only people that we know that dance on the pole are strippers. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what is the significance of what you're doing? What message are you trying to send? So sometimes, one of the World Cups that happened in the recent past, some of those activity that looked diabolic. So the question then, they said, why are you doing what you're doing? Are you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think that beyond the celebration and all of the activities, sometimes we should try to understand that we are diplomatically or indirectly passing messages. So she has passed the message unknowingly, or maybe she's intentional about what she did.
No, but she wasn't the one that danced.
No, she wasn't the one that danced.
Whoever danced on the pole. You remember what happened at City of David? I think they said that a masquerade came for the pastors. Yeah. So some of those things, sometimes it's a little bit on the extreme. Even though I cannot completely condemn it, because I do not understand the exact reason behind it. Then finally, sometimes some of these people do one or two acts of philanthropy or some of those charity works, but some people don't actually say it out. Yes. Some people do. So I would not be in the right position to say she spent 18 million and she doesn't help anybody, because I know people who help, but they do it.
They don't announce.
But fine, it's possible that she does not announce she helping people, but even the thought of spending 18 million on the cake.
Okay, so I'm going to come in there. And it's her birthday, it's her money. She worked for it. That's how she wants to celebrate.
I don't see. You could do so much more than spending.
Everybody wants to celebrate their birthday.
Let's be factual
here. I understand your point, because the truth of the matter is that she wants to ring a bell with the 18 million naira cake. But if she took that 18 million and decided to go to one of these slumps, one of these area, and say, I'm doing again.
If she had done more than that.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. If she had distributed 18 million naira worth of charity, whatever, or maybe even cash, don't you think she would have rang it? That's what I'm saying. Not even the cake.
And the condemnation will not
come. She probably had done that without announcing it.
It's
but not
possible.
18 million, trust me.
It's
even not 18 million.
It's possible.
18 million naira cake.
That's how she
I would not take. No, I don't.
Money.
See, let's be modest about this. Let's be modest. Let's preach the right thing into the society. 18 million naira cake, that's a waste. Everybody's gonna eat it, and you're still gonna go to use the convenience. Come on, because it's your day. Yes, it's your day. Oh Lord, have mercy. No, modesty is key for me.
It's a different opinion for everybody.
I know.
Celebrate your birthday. For me, if I had 18 million to celebrate my birthday, I would rather go to the less privileged, go to the orphanages, do something for them. That is me. But this is Vicky
because
James.
it's modesty. Because
This is
that's
Vicky
more
James.
valuable.
She wants to celebrate the way she wants to celebrate.
Hallelujah.
We're talking about her now.
Well, do you know we're just talking about the
We're
cake?
talking about her
Should
now.
we talk about the payment of the home? Should we talk about the
But we're
decoration?
talking
Should we talk
about her
the
now.
dress? Welcome back. Yes, we're still talking about the cake, and I don't know why Patricia is trying to judge this by saying, I do not know. No matter how much you love cake, I'm going to say this, no matter how much you love cake, I know you well. The reason your mind can never even go to spending 1 million naira on a cake. So if you know that you cannot spend 1 million naira cake, even if you have 30 billion sitting in your account, then why preach the fact that because it's her 30th birthday, so she can do whatever she likes? You say, yes, fine, celebrate however you want. But modesty is key. That's the only thing. I'm not saying she should not build a
I
mansion
said that
cake.
because we're not going to teach Vicky James on
How
how
to
to spend her money.
But remember,
She's
Gabriella
30.
said on the previous program that be bold to speak it. Say the truth. So we're saying the truth. Gabriella, thank you today for doing that. Anyway, what do we have next?
Yes, and the second story we have here is the moment the fans almost got the video injured, and I guess he held onto his legs while he was walking. Well, I think for the fan, you see celebrities the first time, you with your eyes and you just held on to it.
But he had even come out today.
Yeah, he came out to apologize.
Everyone to please beg Davido. I mean,
the
Davido listening to us now, we apologize on his behalf.
He loves you.
So let's go watch the video and we'll be right back.
Welcome back. Yeah, well, we've apologized to the video, but another angle to this, I was when he apologized. Yes, apology accepted. Well, I'm not a video, so it's the video that will forgive you. But in another angle, I was looking at it that maybe, because right now, sometimes I feel for these celebrities, you don't know who are truly your fans. Maybe they just want to get to you so that you dash them money. Just the way, like maybe Davido sees like, okay, call him, and gives him dollars. Or after making the video, they will say, okay, look for that guy. I want to bless him. These things are, it don't cast.
But it is also a very, very foolish thing to do.
Right?
Did you see the video Very Dark Man shared this? I think he shared it this week. The video of a fan going up to trying to get to an artist that is on stage, and the bouncer had to push the guy, and he died instantly. Do you understand what I'm saying? So these people have security personnel that have responsibility, and if that guy had evil intention and had a way to Davido, the bouncer or the security around them will be held responsible for not doing their job. So I think it's an excessive craziness when I see people collapsing for a celebrity that probably will never talk to you, that will probably never give you. It's not just in music, but in football. I think that there's a level this being a fan that becomes absolute stupidity and everything. So why do you want to do something like that? Do you understand what I'm saying? If he was a preacher or he was Jesus and you are desperate for a miracle, it's a bit understandable. But it's not like you are like the woman with your blood that was screaming and all of that. That's not the case. So I think that it's too excessive. And just like the video Very Dark Man shared, if you ask me, some people will end up like that.
Right.
Will end up like that. So I just
be careful. Every fan out there, try as much as possible to understand that they have security experts around them, and you could be thrown off because it's out of surprise or
somebody shared a story
and they push you off
with me. I don't know how true that is, but I trust the person's story. They said at some point Sinach was singing somewhere in a church, I think in a church in the east, and while everybody was caught up with the worship, somebody ran to the front with a knife. I think it happened in Lagos or something. Now, luckily, in the Christ Embassy setting, there's usually protocols like security close to the stage.
Protocols, yes.
And they grabbed the person. Only for them to find out that the person had a knife.
Wow.
Are you getting what I'm saying? So anybody could think that one was slain in the spirit and wanted to, but you don't know that they have evil intention. Yes. So that's why I said people should be careful, and celebrities themselves should be careful. Because the person that's coming to grab your leg, you don't know who sent him. You don't know whether they want to do touch and follow. You don't know. Shit happens. Yes. But what I mean, touch and what I mean, I just coined an acronym. It could be any assignment, anything. It could be maybe you won't last 2 years. That would be
No, don't point at me. Don't point at me when you say things like that. No, please. Success.
I've seen
today, please.
when you document events, you will see funny things.
Of course.
People who want to spray money to the people that are just got wedded, and you see them do some funny signs before spraying the money. And the funny thing that those couples are usually not aware because they are carried away. Do you know where we get to see all these things? From their footages during edits. Now you now find out that see, and we've heard a lot of stories.
Oh my word.
Celebrities, please be careful out there.
And also to people that are doing wedding, it just brought to my notice. That happens a lot. We've seen a lot of videos. You see some of them, they'll take the money over
round their head.
Some people do so many things and just probably put it on your tummy, on your head, on your face. Please be very careful.
Well, so thank God for the federal government that
says
no more spraying.
Yes.
So that settles that.
There's a new format of spray.
Please tell us what's the new format.
There's a new format, and remember, it is not every party that goes to social media.
True.
Even with the band, I've seen spraying of money. They'll just tell whoever is documenting, don't put this part or do like this. In fact, I was in an event where there were security personnel. They still sprayed money. The security personnel said, don't let our face not show on that footage.
Oh.
So it's just.
But why you didn't? That's Nigerian story. We do not and will not never listen.
And so I've seen also, you get money, you touch whoever is celebrating and put it in the bag.
I do not like why you're pointing at me.
You are little shit. Why are you so? Have you been jazzed before?
I don't like the way you keep pointing at me.
Have you been jazzed before? Is asking your question.
Well, he could start.
Well, I wanted to paint the scenario because you said touch and follow the video. So it kept playing in my head while you're saying it. That, okay, so they touch the video now. And the video stuff.
I have a friend who that happened to. From, I don't know if it was an Uber driver or taxi driver. I don't know which particular one. But we were somewhere at Ikeja. And she was trying to board. I don't know how she got that taxi. But somehow what happened at the end of the day, when she came down, she used her ATM, withdrew all the money in her account, and gave it to them. It was when they left that her eyes opened. Are you get what I'm saying? So the shits like this happen all the time.
I heard such stories a lot. Can't we use such shit according to you?
Stop using what shit. It's not good for the TV. It's not good for the TV.
What? Can't we use such, to talk to our government, to our leaders?
How are you going to fight diabolism? How would the government help you do that?
No, not fighting diabolism. Using diabolism to touch them so they can do things right for us.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you have to visit.
I'm going to apologize for Patricia because you're not supposed to say that on air. We're broadcasters. You should know that. Anyways, apologies on behalf of Patricia and the word that we used. Okay, so I'm just going to go over to the next video we have for today. And that one is African parents are dream killers. This is somebody saying something like, oh, wow. Okay, anyways, I'm not going to say so much. Let's just hear what he has to say. And of course, we'll be right back to continue the program. Stay with us. Welcome back. Well, that's a beautiful take for me. I love that. So, but truly, do you think African parents are willing to take the risks?
Not every parent actually, but from my experience, I have a cousin of mine who the moment he was done with school, he was so interested in the movie industry. And back then in 2010, thereabout, his father was a big guy and had a couple of good businesses. So the father wanted him to work in his organization and to learn the trade and all of that. But he didn't want that. He wanted to do movies. He was very good at script writing. He was a good actor. As he started so well, but he had a lot of friction with his father. Guess what? After some time, everybody in the extended family started calling him, and at the end of the day, he had to kill the ambition. As at this time when he was killing the ambition, he had already started taking roles with the likes of Emeka, and so he had gotten to that level. Then he now gave up and went to work with his father. Few years after the father's business started having issues. And then in Nollywood, you have to go through all of those Actors Guild of Nigeria, not like now where the YouTube and the rest of them, you don't need all of those organizations to do your movies and all of that. So now we were talking and he said, I had to go back to the movies. And he said, I regretted following my father's direction.
Wow.
He said, because if I was consistent
With the
movies, I would have. So he got back, but he got back. And some of those people who own all of those YouTube channels, like the Ruth Kadiri and the rest of them, this guy is so knowledgeable that I think that if he had been consistent and he had gotten his father's support, he probably would have done better. Because as at that time, he had ideas like this, but nobody had launched it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nobody had. So what I think parents should do is, when you find a child who is passionate about a certain thing, no matter how crazy it is, I think you should allow them the opportunity to try. I remember talking to Tenny Makanaki, and she told me how it is that she had an argument with her mother. So they signed an agreement. And the agreement was that if you choose to go this way, you'll be responsible for your failure if you don't succeed. And they said they got a lawyer involved.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And she took the risk.
And she's doing it well.
And she's doing it well.
That will even help her to sit up well.
Well, of
because
course.
you won't want to fail.
Yeah.
You don't want to fail.
So sometimes, no matter how crazy these people sound, you should be able, you should give them the opportunity to try. I'm just thinking, probably when the video probably started, I wonder how crazy he would have sounded to his dad. But the dad was wise enough to say, okay, let's, you understand what I'm saying? So I don't think you should, and I don't like this thing of superimposing your vision for your baby. He must be a footballer. He must be a doctor.
No, allow them pick, allow them choose.
But then again, some parents have allowed some children to choose and pick, and they go wrong.
That's why I said, don't make mistakes.
Another word.
Even though the mistakes can be very expensive, but sometimes you have to risk it. You have to be extra sure that this child is so passionate enough about what he wants. And also let them know the risk. Peradventure you don't succeed. This is what. So let them sit down and calculate the cost.
And wait.
Okay, let's quickly pick this call. This call has been called in. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is
Okay, sir. Where are you calling from?
Some years back.
Okay.
I started coaching since 1980. And I've coached a lot of schools, college, international schools, even jobs like international students, makers of children, I coach in player and even play for the national team.
I'm sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir? Hello, can you hear me, sir?
So what really mattered was that over the years there was one particular guy. His name is Otamoni. Who went there. I think it's from the building. And this guy was so outstanding, very, very outstanding, that his skill on the field of exceptional. You know, these were almost more than 500 points that passed. You know that this guy was very okay, one day, and we read
I'm sorry, I have to cut that because we could barely hear him.
Yes, it's a noisy environment.
Yeah, if you can hear me, you can call back, but please, when you call back, try to listen to us because I think you're close to a fan, a moving fan, not a sitting fan, I think a standing fan. So move away from the fan first, or there's something making a huge sound beside you, so you could move away from them because we could barely hear you. And when you call, please make it very snappy when you're talking so we can pick other calls. All right. Somebody is saying, is a man with you called Travolta? Are you? Anyway.
Do I look like John Travolta? John Travolta is a white guy, for crying out loud.
So why are they asking if you're
I don't know.
Maybe we have Nigeria Travolta.
Okay, all right. So another one says, okay, we are doing great. Thank you so much. Yes, we are. So he has called back. Hopefully he heard what we said. So let's go. Let's pick his call again. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, much better, sir. So please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you. Go ahead. Oh, he dropped. Oh, all right. So anyways, let's move over to the next video. Hopefully calls again. This one is saying, okay, candid advice for women and men in their 20s. I like that a lot of people are coming out these days to talk about people in their 20s, in their 30, early 30s, you know. Please, think we should also concentrate on the 40s. They also need to be spoken to. And
but when you talk to those in their 20s, it extends to
the 40s.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So
are
let's
you
watch
sure?
this. Are you sure?
Because they call those ones millennials and they call the other ones Gen Zs.
Okay, kinda. So yes,
Let's hear.
try to give us advice too for the older ones. Okay, let's listen to a candid advice for men and women in their 20s, and we'll be right back to the studio. Stay with us. All right, before the video is finished, Success said he has a lot of things to say because of what I said. I guess where I said that for first, I don't know. For ladies, let me not just use first daughters. There are a lot of responsibilities for ladies growing up as a child. So sometimes you will see a first daughter or ladies who, you know, were definitely well trained. They're already mature, even at their 20s. Then I now said, I can't say the same thing about a man who is in his 20s. I don't know if he's mature. If you see a man who's mature in his 20s and reasons and talks like a mature man, I'm certain he must have sat down amongst older men.
Or maybe old grandma.
Older men, basically, not.
We have a guy.
So,
No, the truth of the matter is that thing she said is not very balanced. The reason is because, you see, everything has its advantage and disadvantage. If a girl child is well mentored by her parents, she would be prepared for marriage in her 20s. If she has the right set of people talking to her, she would be prepared in her 20s. Now, even the Bible says, he that findeth a wife. So meaning that to a large extent, you should have the wifey mentality before you are found. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now when you are in that state of mind, if you find yourself in the confinement of marriage, even when things are not aligning to your expectations, you know what to do. You'll be able to seek help the right way. But you see, the other part of it is that if you are not prepared and you get into marriage, it's going to become the beginning of your suffering. Because you have little or no experience, nobody advised you, nobody spoke to you, you didn't know how to manage it, and it's going to be, so that is probably what she referred to when she said you need to gain experience. But you see, experienced people are also likened to damaged people. You've tested A, B, C, and because you've tested all these people, whoever is going to end up with you is going to suffer what you went through from A, B, C. And so he has not even acted this way. You're already thinking he's going to end like this because A did like this. He's just saying this. You already thought you're thinking that it's going to land like this because B did like this. So you're going to come in with experience. Now let's even talk about the negative impact of it. Sexual satisfaction and all of those kind of things. So A, B, C met you and you find out that they're Jagaban. Now the real man that wants to marry you now is not anywhere close to Jagaban. So now you now consider him not fit, not good enough. It does not satisfy me. Whereas that, if you had met him not being damaged, you would not have even complained to start with. Because you've already, so that's why I said there are plus and minuses to it. However, I would not recommend that advice. I would say if you're in your 20s, get knowledge, read books, ask questions, get prepared. If you find the right person asking you out, don't hesitate. And remember, women are not like men when it comes to timing. So a man can wake up at his 60 and decide this is when he's ready for marriage.
Yes.
A woman does not have that advantage. Are you know what I'm saying? That is why you cannot, a boy child might not be ready 20, but 30, 40, any 20 that is ready can just say yes, even in his 50 or 60. But it's not like that. And that is why if there's anybody who should even be more conscious about their timing and preparation, is even the ladies. So I don't think that advice is a complete recommendation.
Just allow me to say this to him.
Okay.
Do you want to start up a relationship? Marriage and relationship coaching?
Yeah, I already do that. Yes,
that,
I do.
Because this is fantastic. There's nothing more to add. True. Why are you nodding your head? He said it all. There's nothing more to add. Thank
Jane,
you.
do you have a question? Because I think I'm done asking any questions for the day.
I agree with you actually. Just have to get things ready, get things straight before you go into a relationship. And relationship, a lot of things to do to put in place, to school, things, and just want to go into a relationship just like that. You have to go through some ads I do with my parents, teachers, elders in the community, society, family,
So that means for your 20s, you should focus on yourself.
You know a funny thing. Sometimes your parents might not even be the right people to talk to you when it has to do with relationship. Sometimes your parents are even the wrong models to talk to. But when you get to a certain age and you attain a certain degree of evaluation and you get certain kind of exposure, you'll be able to differentiate between what should be and what shouldn't be. For example, I was talking to somebody 3 days ago, and I said, you grew up in your family, and it is normal for you guys to argue like dogs. Like, if you get into their house, you would think that there's a quarrel. But that is the normal way of talking. Now she's married, and her husband is complaining that their conversation looks like they are fighting. And she didn't see a problem with it. She didn't think it was a problem. And I said, that is a problem. Because I've seen families where communication is so sweet, smooth, and gentle.
Easy.
Even in a disagreement. Nobody is shouting. So in that family, it is who shouts the most that gets the attention.
That's toxic for me. I don't know.
It is toxic.
Sounds toxic.
But she didn't know it was toxic until it was mentioned to her. She didn't know it was toxic, because that's why I said some families are not even the right models for their children when it has to do with relationship. And that is why if you find yourself in that confinement, you have to seek external help. Read, because some people believe that in relationship that you must always have a quarrel with your wife. I'll give you an instance. I never heard my father have an argument with my mother all through my life. This is not because I grew up in the house. There was never my mother never cried for my father for once. There was never a physical confrontation. It was but when I left my family house, I found out that this is like something that cannot be done to a lot of people. So you hear a lot of people say, hey, husbands and wife. I asked my mother, I said, how do you handle disagreements? He said, well, we talk about it, but we don't, it's not dramatic. And secondly is that I know when to keep quiet. And your father knows exactly when he has said what he's not supposed to say. And even while he's at work, he will call to say, I am sorry. And she said most of those times she had to say I'm sorry first, even though she knew that he was the one. But my father was smart enough to know that this apology is a wrong one. And he would have to come and say, you didn't have to apologize. I was the one who did. I think I'm saying, so all I'm trying to say in a nutshell is copy good models. And don't think because this is what is available, that is what is obtainable.
No. Anyway, let's pick this call before we go. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Is the out for me?
Is the out for me, Blossom?
Oh my God. I was about to even ask that. I think I'm just going to rock up on this child's voice.
Are you sure that? Are you sure that was a child?
That's a child. No,
Why are you sure?
that's a child. I know there are some persons who have tiny voices, but you could sense the strength in that voice. So, but when you hear a child's voice has no strength.
What if a
Very
child
tiny.
wanted to ask a question that truly matters?
Oh,
You know, I remember making calls to radio stations those
Yeah.
days, trying to, because I wanted to know certain things. So
okay. Well, actually, a child wants you to ask questions. You can call after the program, but not on the program. That
Okay.
I think that's much better because I'm sure for him to be able to keep the words together, it could take him 5 minutes to be able to express exactly what he wants to ask. But I wanted to ask a question, but I'm just going to wrap that. I wanted to ask, between 20s and 30s, who do you ever think? Because at 20s, you have the experience. At 30s, you just confirmed that, well, there are some things who are not still mature, but you're mature and now you want to get married. Do you advise to cohabit? Or if you're 20s, you can cohabit? Yes or no? No, don't speak too much grammar. Yes,
actually, every decision has consequences. Cohabitation has a very huge negative impact if your desire is not achieved.
Okay, so we'll just leave it at that. So both for 20s and 30s, it's like that. Anyway, Patricia, wrap up. Let's go.
Thank God it's Friday. So every viewer out there learn from his parents. Fantastic parents.
Fantastic. But my parents were also like
Fantastic.
that. I even sometimes I'm like, how do you do it? It's not like I don't see some things my mom do. I'll like,
But they manage it so
oh
well.
yeah, manage it. Like, I'm like,
It
I'm
is
a man.
difficult. I'm
Very
telling you,
difficult.
It is difficult.
Because I'm a woman. I know
them
what
the
it
kudos.
is.
Fantastic
Yes.
parents.
Because some
It's
parents, they know
difficult.
that even go inside the room of the children. Because you do see what mother
Exactly.
And that is so wrong. That
It's
is
so wrong, but we can't talk again.
that. Anyway, Thank God it's Friday edition. Welcome to the end of Thank God it's Friday edition on the bus. We'll be
Okay.
doing the same time next week, starting from Monday. Blossom and I will be here. My name is Patricia. If you must party, drink and don't drive. And be careful.
All right. I would like to appreciate my viewers and, of course, my callers and those who texted. Thank you so much for being part of the program. And also, thank you, Mr. Sisole, for being on the show. It's always amazing to always have you seated with us.
Thank you.
And thank you, special appearance, Jamba Design.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today again. And of course, it's a wrap here. We'll see you on Monday, just as Patricia said. Do have a lovely weekend for yourself. And remember to clean. It's not just about the party. Clean the house. Change the settings. You understand? It's good. They said cleanliness is next to godliness.
Godliness.
I love you. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye for now.